everyone, how are we? Deadly. Before I begin, I would love to share a greeting with you. It's a greeting in the local language of the Gadigal people. So when I greet you, I would love for you to greet me back using the same word. In our traditional language, we say, warami. Can you mob say warami? Yeah, nah, that's not gonna cut it, guys. I need more energy. Warami. Your way, too deadly. I know, you know what I said, didn't you? I said, my name is Binui, and I come from the lands of the Gadigal people. My mother descends from the Eora, the Wonnarua, and the Bundjalung nations of New South Wales. My father's people descend from the Birigubba, Gungaloo, Waka Waka, and Woolly Woolly nations from central to North Queensland. What does that mean to you? Just means I've got a big mob and it goes from Redfern to North Queensland. Anyhow, it is my absolute pleasure to be able to welcome you all to country today. In our traditional language, we say, Wan Gari Warami. Hello and welcome. Wan Gari Gamarara. Welcome, my friends. Wan Gari Dambalong Gadigal Nyura. So Dambalong is the traditional name of the place where we stand today. Gadigal, Gadi means grass tree. Gal means people. We are the saltwater people of the sandstone. Our totem is the sand goanna, and we are of Gawara, the whale dreaming. I want to take a moment to acknowledge elders. Any elders in this room? Your elders? The elders of this land, and to my elders too. I want to acknowledge the many sovereign First Nations across this country from where you may have travelled from and where you may be travelling back to. I ask the ancestors whose spirits remain with this land to give you good energy, to bless this space and give you safe passage, to ensure that you get home to your families safely. On that note, I would like to conclude by saying, our actions today determine the kind of ancestor we will be to the children of the future. My grandmother would constantly say to us kids growing up, we need to ensure that the future generations have the inherent right to fresh water so they can drink, clean air so they can breathe, and good food supplies to nourish and sustain all life for as many generations in front of us as we do behind us. So it's up to each and every one of us to be honourable. Honourable in our intentions and our actions, and we will be honourable ancestors to the children of tomorrow. On that note, we say Gidjirigor means thank you. And I have one last ask of you before I go. Can you all say Yanu Yanu? I'm not gonna cut it, guys, come on, come on. Yanu Yanu. That means you want to see me again, which I hope is true. All the best. Welcome to the lands of the Gadigal. Bye-bye.
The two most powerful words in the world that we know are, what if? Every great thing that I've ever been a part of began with those two words. And today, thousands of organizations are saying, what if? With the power to act on those words like never before. What if every child had a tutor? What if every healthcare visit felt personal? What if every family had their own financial advisor? What if your business never had to sleep? What if? What if your company could solve problems before you even knew they existed? What if you could empower every employee with a limitless digital workforce, one that listens, learns, and acts all day, every day? Well, this isn't some far-fetched science fiction fantasy anymore. No, it's happening right now with AI from Salesforce. It's called Agentforce. Agentforce turns your vision into reality. Think about it, a future where every student, patient, client, citizen, and customer experiences the best service possible. And your people? Well, now they're free to focus on the work that matters most. And all you have to do is bring your dreams. Imagine that. What if? What if every company was an Agentforce company? What if?
Please welcome EVP and GM Australia and New Zealand, Salesforce, Frank Philman.
Good morning, Sydney, and wherever you're dialing in from, if you're live, if you're here in person, we are so glad you're here. This is the most exciting customer event I've ever been a part of today, and you're gonna hear why in just a few moments. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that I'm here. We have a massive day in store for you. If anyone else in the audience, like me, has been overwhelmed with the incredible bullet train of innovation of all things AI the last 2 years, what I wanna make sure that you hear from us is that we wanna meet you where you are on your journey. There's the curious and the converted. We might have a CEO or a board member who is in this audience, completely overwhelmed, very curious. What is this power of AI? What is an agent? What is Agentforce? I wanna know more. We might have the fully converted, a Salesforce administrator who has hands on keys every single day. We have not-for-profits, government agencies, big companies and small, every industry imaginable. We've got something in store for you today. I wanna say a massive thank you to everyone who's taken time out of their day to join us. And a special thank you to the marketing team that spent the last year since we walked off the stage coordinating today. Thank you. Thank you to our Trailblazer community, that's you, that spent all this time coming together. Data, sales, servant, and now agent blazers. Our MVPs, our customers, our partners, our executives that have come over from headquarters. We celebrate this year 21 years in Australia, 19 years in New Zealand, and it's all because of you. We're so glad that you're here, and we have a massive day in store for you. If you have an opportunity to grab your phone, grab a QR code up on the screen and download the events app, there's a lot going on. This will help you plan your day. I'd also like to give a special thank you to our 50 plus sponsors that made today possible. We have heaps of sessions and demos available for you, but there's 2 bits of magic at events like this. Number 1 is hearing from our customers, hearing from iconic Australian and New Zealand brands. What are they doing? Because they're inspiring us, and these are the folks sitting right next to you. Learn what they are doing with Agentforce to power their organizations. And the second bit of magic is the campground. Go down, talk to an engineer, talk to a partner, talk to a customer, get involved in the community. We want you to have a chance today, by the way, to build an agent. And I'm not talking just to the engineers, talking to people like me, who that's like a really intimidating statement. We want you to build an agent. We want you to see what it's like to join this Agentforce community. You see, at Salesforce, we've always believed that values create value. Trust is our number 1 value, and it always has been. And in the age of AI, this is so important. You're gonna hear all about this today. What is the right thing to do? Ethics and governance. How is this baked into our platform? Customer success, your success is what fuels us. That's why we love to hear from you. And by the way, if you're a customer in the audience and you're speaking today, thank you for being here. Innovation, we've been busy. I'm personally convinced that our product and engineering team hasn't slept in the last 2 years. Why is that? We were doing 3 releases a year. Last year, almost 3 releases a month. That's 10x the innovation. We rewrote all of our products in 23 to be AI first. We did it again in 24 to be agent first. And when we talk about words like equality and sustainability, not words on a poster at headquarters, this is just infused into the fabric and the DNA of our company. Look at sustainability, for example. This past year, we celebrated our 1-year anniversary at the Salesforce Sydney Tower, one of the most sustainable office towers in all of New South Wales. We are a net zero organization powering the world's largest and the largest Australian, New Zealand utilities firms to deliver on the energy transition. You see, 25 years ago, we pioneered this idea of the 1-1-1 model, where we give away 1% of our time, equity, and product. We now have 19,000 companies that have joined this pledge, which is amazing. The impact is real. Over $17 million in grants locally, 365,000 hours volunteered. And on our 1-year anniversary of our new tower here in Sydney, we opened up the Ohana floor for the not-for-profit community. Shout out to any NFPs in the audience, we love you. This is our opportunity to give back and amplify what you're doing to enhance our community. I'm also incredibly excited today and honored to have an opportunity to share that we are giving away another $1.2 million in grants to Abade Foundation and New Energy Nexus. If you're in the audience today and you're with one of these 2 firms, won't you please stand up and be recognized? Woo! Thank you. We've talked about our commitment to this region, our investment in this region. Today, we're putting our money where our mouth is. We are making a massive investment in Australia. We are announcing today $2.5 billion over the next 5 years in AI innovation, workforce development, and sustainability. It's hard to believe 14 years ago when I started, we'd be the #2 software company in the world's #1 AI CRM, but it's this idea of doing well and doing good. That's what fuels us as an organization. For me personally, the idea that we're one of the most innovative, philanthropic, and ethical companies in the world, that's what gets us out of bed. I've had the pleasure this past year of meeting with over 100 CEOs locally. AI always comes up, but I also hear about headwinds, challenges that everyone locally is facing. There's really 3 themes that come to mind. Number 1, we've got a tight labor market, 4%. It's hard to get, train, keep, and place the right talent. Number 2, we've got a productivity challenge. We've got a productivity crisis. Almost a decade of flat productivity. How much longer can we wait to see a lift here? And the third is customer experience. Has anyone here used generative AI? Anyone have it on their phone today? Gemini, chat.com, Claude, whatever flavor. We are all used to all this incredible magic on our phone, but when we engage with a brand, it doesn't often show up. So what happens? Our last great experience is our new bar. It's our new expectation, and it's creating a divide. It's a divide that's really stressful for organizations to handle. Businesses are completely overwhelmed. We know it, we're consumers. It's frustrating. Where does this pressure land though? This pressure lands on the front line. It lands on our people and it lands on our customers. Why is that so important? The front line is where everything happens. Everything that we're measuring, OKRs and KPIs, everything on your dashboard happens here. Net promoter score, CSAT, loyalty, reputation, retention, upsell, cross-sell, campaign conversions, all of it happens here. And yet, what happens? Our customers are utterly exhausted. They're frustrated. They want more. They actually demand more. They expect more. What about our employees? 60% of Australian workers are burned out. 60%. Almost half their job is administrative in nature. They believe in the promise of AI. Surveys show 54% of Australians believe in the hope and the promise that AI can make their work more meaningful. But when they log in, that isn't the reality every day. So can we fix this? It's gonna require 2 things. Number 1, a breakthrough mindset, from scarcity to abundance, from limited to limitless. Number 2, a technology that can be a circuit breaker that can actually deliver on this. So what if? What if workforces didn't have limits? What if labor wasn't scarce? What if it was abundance? Because the reality is all the challenges that we've heard from our customers, it's because there's an imbalance. There's a supply and demand challenge. There is a labor imbalance. Companies with finite resources cannot scale to meet the infinite needs of customers. But what if that wasn't the case? What if labor could become abundant and elastic? What if you didn't have to, as a business, choose if you wanted productivity or growth or customer experience? What if we could tackle the 41%? What if customers had smiles on their faces when they engaged with our organizations? Introducing Agentforce. For the first time in history, technology has agency. It can think, it can learn, it can reason, it can act, it can find a package, it can ship a package, it can find an appointment, it can schedule an appointment. It takes the friction and the exhaustion out of the system. This is about delivering to companies an infinite set of resources to handle the infinite needs of customers. Tackle the 41% for your employees, have a release valve for the exhaustion and the frustration that our customers are feeling. We did a survey, 480 senior executives across Australia and New Zealand. The survey comes out this week, it's incredible. In it, it said that over 2/3 of Australian executives plan to prioritize agentic AI over the next 12 months. 2/3 are planning on the prioritization of it. A third, more than a third, are actually implementing it. But wait, Agentforce just came out 6 months ago. September, Agentforce 1.0. In December, Agentforce 2.0. And yet, people are deploying this today. You're gonna hear from customers today, sitting right next to you, that have unbelievable stories to share. And we're gonna tell you why companies are choosing Salesforce for this journey. There's a couple reasons. One is, this is on the back end of over a decade of investment in all things AI. So 2014, we came out with Gen AI for internal code development. 2016, we brought predictive analytics to CRM. 2022, 2023 was the years of Gen AI and copilots. And then last year, Agentforce in September, Agentforce 2.0 in December. We've been busy. This innovation flywheel, it's incredible. And this is all built in to a deeply unified platform. We have one Agentforce, and it's embedded inside of our applications. When we talk about a deeply unified platform, this is it. The data cloud, you'll hear all about it today. There's a term up there called zero copy. Don't forget that. It's the ability to look at data in Workday and Amazon and Google and Snowflake and Databricks, pull it into the applications, but don't move the data. Into our Customer 360, we have over 70 leadership positions in our application portfolio. It's incredible. This is the application layer, the Customer 360, embedded in Agentforce. This is where people log in every day. This is a familiar tool, a familiar application. Now we can upgrade that experience with an incremental capability. This is what AI was meant to be. This is delivering the digital labor platform that our customers are asking for. So when we say that every company must become an Agentforce company, what do we mean? Your customers demand it, your employees deserve it. And it's the first time we don't have to choose if we want productivity or growth or experience. That sounds too good to be true. So what if we look at HighPages? A great organization, they're here. Check them out in the Agentforce breakout if you want to learn more. They serve millions of households locally. The challenge is if you're a tradie and you're trying to onboard, you've got all your certifications, you've got a call, you might have to stand in line. The manual process for the employees and the tradies is huge. Tradies don't want paperwork, they want to get to work. They can onboard in minutes instead of hours. They can get connected to households in minutes instead of hours. So who's happy in this equation? Company's happy, the tradies are happy, the employees are happy, customers get happy. No longer this idea of trade-off. This is the abundance mindset. This is the possible, and it's not years away, it's today. This is real. Number two, One New Zealand, the number 2 telco in New Zealand. We know what telcos struggle with, right? Technical debt, manual processes, siloed data. They are driving their customer transformation for 3 million plus households with Agentforce. Check them out in the Agentforce keynote. It's an incredible story. Thank you. I know you're in the audience as well. Thank you for being here today. Salesforce is an Agentforce company. We've got 40 plus agents. We seem to add another one every day. If you want to check out our website, you get to interact with what that means. Okay, so how do I get started? What does it mean to become an Agentforce company? How do we do it? It's the triple play. Number 1, unlock capacity with digital labor. What if labor was elastic? Number 2, building trust from prompt to response. We need accurate, relevant results grounded in customer data so that our customers actually get value from this engagement. And number 3, driving customer success with humans and agents. This is the front line. This is where it all happens. How do we empower our people and delight our customers? Here to take us through chapter 1 of the story, unlocking capacity with digital labor, let me welcome up Leandro Perez.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you. Last month, I celebrated my 10th year anniversary working at Salesforce and my 25th year in the software industry. And like Frank mentioned, I've never seen the pace of change be faster than we're experiencing today. Now, for someone like me, a bit of a geek, I find it exhilarating. But I know with conversations with many business leaders that they're feeling overwhelmed, and many are actually sitting on the sidelines. And you don't have to, because our engineers have been focused on simplifying that complexity with all this innovation and delivering to you Agentforce, an agentic AI solution for every organization. Now, we've come a long way from chatbots with their fixed rules and limited answers, and copilots, which had so much promise. I was excited about them too. But when you brought them from the consumer world to the business world, they lacked context. And ultimately, they provided a little bit of productivity, but they couldn't take action. And taking action is what is key, because Agentforce is this transformational step forward. It can know your business, it can plan and reason and take action. And taking action is how you will unlock the trapped value that you have in your organization through digital labor. Now, how does Agentforce do all of this? Well, Agentforce does it because it's built on the Salesforce platform. It's native, which means if you've invested in the platform, you've built a custom app, you've built a dashboard, you've built a workflow, Agentforce can instantly access it. And how does it know your business? Well, it's data cloud. Because with data cloud, Agentforce can access the data that's in Salesforce and outside of Salesforce. And with those customer 360 leading apps, Agentforce can interact across all of your touch points: sales, customer service, marketing, your commerce experience. Now, you might be thinking, well, what does this mean for me? Well, it means that you can bring digital labor to every team and every workflow, whether it's in Salesforce, like qualifying a lead, scheduling a field service appointment, or my favorite, creating a marketing campaign, or outside of Salesforce, thanks to MuleSoft. You can process a refund in SAP. You can onboard an employee in Workday. It's incredible. Now, you might be thinking, Leandro, what about my industry? We got you covered. Every industry can have digital labor: healthcare, retail, banking, manufacturing. Agentforce can bring capacity to all of them. Now, you might be thinking, well, how does Agentforce do all of this? It sounds complex. Well, there's a special piece of technology that our engineers have been hard at work building: the Atlas Reasoning Engine. You can think of it as the brains behind Agentforce. What it does is when it gets a task, it creates a plan. It starts to evaluate the best way, the most efficient and effective way to take that action, and then it refines it. And here's the best part. Much like the way our brain works, it remembers. So it gets better with more use. So we call this the agentic loop, because cycle, 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 it gets smarter. Now, I know that you might be thinking this is the future, but I'm talking about the present. Right here, right now, we have thousands of organizations all around the world leveraging Agentforce, from the small to the large, across industries. And we have an amazing example right here in our own backyard in Fisher & Paykel. Fisher & Paykel is using Agentforce for their customer service to schedule appointments, brief technicians. I could talk all day long about it, but you know what? Why don't we hear, in their own words, roll the film.
Fisher & Paykel is about being the most human-centred appliance company in the world. It's about taking the ordinary and making it extraordinary. We're a growing business. And with that comes some challenges. It comes with challenges of scaling fast enough and making sure that you're keeping up with customer demand. And we just weren't going to live up to our brand promise.
We had high call volumes. We had people waiting in the queue to be answered. We couldn't move quick enough.
And that's the problem that we want to solve using the Salesforce platform, that our customers get a consistent, seamless experience every time they interact with us. We really believe the kitchen is the heart of the home. It's where people meet, it's where homework is done, it's where conversations start. Salesforce is a really important part of our customer experience.
This is our customer, Peter. We can see he actually has a connected appliance, so we can send them notifications when the water filter is due for replacement. So Peter can navigate to our website. Agentforce knows who he is, knows that he has a refrigerator that requires water filter replacements every 6 months. So we can create a topic of subscription and add instructions, and Agentforce will offer up a subscription.
And that's the difference with Agentforce. It actually talks back to you like a person's on the other side.
Our customers, they don't need to come and speak to a real human unless they need something more complex.
This is a really big change for us. It's giving us the ability to scale our existing workforce. Technologies like Agentforce help us meet the customer where they want to do business with us.
When our customers engage, they're living their life. There you go. You might be in the middle of cooking and you need an answer right then and there, like what's my optimal temperature? What shelf should it be on? With Agentforce, we will serve up the content and give you the answer straight away.
Agentforce has access to everything in our Salesforce environment and is able to provide a much more contextual experience and answer for the customer. That's the power of it. It's the deeply unified platform. With our previous bot solution, we were helping resolve issues for customers about 33% of the time. We're forecasting to well and truly double that. Luxury customers expect 24/7 customer service pre and post-sale. We see Agentforce and our connected appliances coming together to help our customers more proactively. They can focus on the things that are important to them with the people that really matter.
Incredible film. You know what? I'm just going to take this moment to call out Fisher & Paykel's right over here. Let's give them a round of applause. Rudy, Marissa, please stand up. Please stand up. Incredible. come on, yes, the whole team, stand on up, stand on, there's more, amazing, all the way from across amazing. Agent Blazers, incredible. All right, now folks, I know many of you come for the theory. I love the theory too, but I want to change gears and take you behind the scenes and show you the technology. Now, before we do that, I think it's really important that we all level set on what the gold standard of customer service is today. So let's assume, just play along with me, that we've purchased something for the house and it wasn't right. You want to exchange it. What do? You call customer service, right? Well, I just thought it'd be fun if we did that all together. So let's give that a go.
Hello, and thank you for calling customer service. If you know the extension of the party you are trying to reach, you may dial it at any time. To hear our store hours, please press 1. To start a return, please press 2. For product inquiries, please press 3. If you would like to speak to a customer service
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna abort that plan. That's terrible. That's terrible because as a customer, we just wanna get talking. We have a problem, we want someone to start answering our question. The reality is most organizations simply don't have the capacity, right? Their customer service reps are busy, it might be a peak period, it might be out of hours, they might be even another country, and you just wanna call up and talk. However, what the industry's come up with is something called call deflection. They're basically trying to slow you down, maybe give you an answer, but we know that's not great. I'm gonna go straight to talk to the agent. Now, in working with Fisher & Paykel, we know there's a better way, and I wanna show you that. But let me unpack another story here. I had a personal situation here. My wife and I were remodeling our home, and we were looking at getting a new kitchen. Of course, a Fisher & Paykel appliance was going to be in there. Now, I will give you a little bit of advice. Measure twice and buy once, because the fridge I got was too small for the space I had. It was very embarrassing. But I want to show you how you can deal with this now with customer service at Fisher & Paykel, powered by Agentforce.
Hi, I'm Will, your Fisher & Paykel AI assistant. How can I help you today?
Oh, hi, Will. Look, I purchased one of your fridges. Unfortunately, I made a mistake. It's a bit small. Can you help me exchange it?
I'm sorry, that sounds frustrating, but I'm here to help. Is this about the 487-litre series 7 French door refrigerator you purchased on February 2nd?
Yes, that's the one.
I have a couple larger capacity models in mind that offer the same benefits of your current fridge. Are you able to take a picture of the space so I can recommend the best option?
Yeah, I think I've got a picture on the phone here.
Great. I've just sent you a text message where you can upload a photo.
All right, just give me a sec here, Will. Whoops, family photos, dog photos. Oh, here we go. There's the fridge. Oh, a bit embarrassing. Let's send that. Here we go.
Thank you, Leandro. Based on the dimensions of the space, I recommend the 569-litre series 7 French door refrigerator. It offers plenty of flexible space for cold and frozen food storage. Would you like to go with this option?
That looks amazing. Yes, please.
Great. The soonest delivery appointment available is February 28th from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Does that work?
Actually, you know what? On Friday, I coached my son's soccer team at 5. Could I be a pain? Could you do it between 12 and 3?
Unfortunately, we do not have a 12 to 3 p.m. window. If you would like, I can connect you with a representative to explore other options.
You know what? You've been great, Will, but I've got a few thousand people watching me, so I might call back, if that's okay. All right, I'm gonna hang up on Will there. How much better was that, right? I was able to just have a conversation with Will, explain what I was trying to do. Will was able to look up my order, offer me a recommendation. And did you notice it was multimodal and multi-chat? Phone, text messaging, he could recognize the image. That was incredible. Now, unfortunately, I was a little bit pedantic. I have a busy day and I wanted to try to get a smaller window. Now, the standard window is 6 hours and Will couldn't accommodate my 3-hour window. Now, I do know that the Fisher & Paykel customer service reps could do that. They could look at the technician schedule, they could make an accommodation. But Will couldn't. How about we do that together right now? Sound good? Yes? You want some energy in the room? Sound good? We want to do that? All right. Now, I told the team I really wanted to do this right. Like usually we've got the amazing demo team here. They help us with our demos. I said, I want to show everyone, anyone can do this. So can you bear with me? I'm just going to get a little comfortable here. I'm going to show you for the first time ever, guys, on the keynote stage, right here. This is Agent Builder Live. Let's do this. Let's do this together. All right. They're still here if anything messes up. All right. Okay. So what we're going to do here is go back here and we're going to switch to this is Will. This is who I was just speaking to, right? So you see Will, you see his description, you see his role. If we scroll down here, we can see the channels. I was interacting on voice and messages. Awesome. But what I want to do is I want to take you to topics. Now, topics are the jobs to be done. So as you can see here, Will can answer general questions, order management, product inquiries, but he's missing the scheduling capability. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new topic. Now, I told the team I was very comfortable demoing, but not typing in front of all of you. So I'm going to copy from the clipboard here. So please bear with me. All right. Amazing. Now, what you can see up here on the screen is basically the description of the topic. So this is the work that needs to be done. It's just natural language. You can see the things that would be needed to do this. All right. I'm going to go and hit next. All right, and what you see here is the metadata. So Agentforce has unpacked all of this metadata and it's created a topic name, a scope. This is really important. These are the guardrails. Will not do anything outside of this, which is really important. And then just scrolling down the instructions here, always greeting the customer courteously and scheduling an appointment with the customer before fine. All good recommendations. So let's go and hit next here. Okay. So it's no good me telling Will what to do without giving him the ability to do it. And this is what is an action, right? Assume that you brought a new employee in, you'd need to give them the tools to do the work, right? So this is what we have with the actions. Now, with the actions, out of the box, there's a whole bunch you can see there. But what I want to show you is scrolling up here is these auto AI draft ones, right? Agentforce has gone into the platform, looked at what the admins at Fisher & Paykel have done and surfaced it. This is how you leverage those investments. This is how Agentforce can be deployed so quickly. So calendar coordination, get appointment time slots, incredible. All right, let's hit next here. Now, what I want to show you is, okay, human always in the loop, and so Agentforce is just, hold on, let me just check, this is all good, I've reviewed that, I'm happy with that, amazing. Okay, so remember, I was trying to give Will the ability to schedule a custom appointment between 12 and 3. Now, great thing about Agent Builder is you can do that right here now as a little test. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, give him my name, and ask specifically for 12 to 3. And here we go. Okay, as I mentioned before, Atlas remembering, so yes, that's the fridge I was talking about. Fingers crossed, people, here we go. Perfect, all right, Will was able to create that between 12 and 3. Now, the key here though, is you saw all this stuff scrolling past, right? What is all happening here? So let me just scroll up. This is the Atlas reasoning engine that I was talking about before, right? So this is Atlas thinking out loud. So when I sent my request in, you can see here, the user message, scrolling down, it identified the topic that I was talking about. And you can see it's starting to go and get my customer order. Go and look up the transaction history. Go and look up the field technicians, get me an appointment, find that. All that complexity was handled by Agentforce. All right, I think the real proof is in the pudding if I call back Will and it can happen. So let's call Will back again.
Hello, I'm Will, your Fisher & Paykel AI agent. How can I help you today?
G'day, Will. We were talking earlier, I wanted to exchange that fridge. Could you deliver it this Friday between 12 and 3?
Is this about the 569 litre series 7 French door refrigerator?
Yes, that's the one.
I was able to move a few things around and secured a slot for your fridge delivery. Derek J will be there between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. on February 28th. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, Will, you're a legend. You're going to make me a hero at home. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Got to be nice to the AI. They are training on us after all. And I was trying to practice my Matthew McConaughey thing. I've got to work on that. All right, what did we just see? We just saw that we are augmenting the agent. We gave Will a whole new capability in a matter of clicks with a little bit of configuration. As Frank mentioned, you can go and do this today out in the campground. I'm looking at everyone here. I expect you to go to the campground and do that. All right, changing gears though, I want to acknowledge that that was a retail example, right? But what if you could bring Agentforce to your customer service? What if you could bring Agentforce to your team? What if you could bring Agentforce to your entire organization? Imagine the possibilities. Back to you, Frank.
Massive thank you to Leandro and a shout out to the entire Fisher & Paykel team. So great to see you here. It's an incredible chance to glimpse into the future of service that is available today. So that was all around unlocking capacity with digital labor. Agentforce is the agentic layer, easy to deploy, works in any system, workflow, and application, and can instantly understand and act on data. Now for chapter 2 of the story, building trust from prompt to response. This is around making sure that we have relevant and accurate results for our customers. It starts with the data. This chapter is powered by the Data Cloud, our fastest growing product in the history of Salesforce. Here to take it away is Rowena Westphalen.
Thanks very much, Frank. Hello, everyone. It's such a privilege to be here today, and I want to shout out all these MVPs right here, the gold hoodie wearers. You guys are my people. It's so nice to see you here. Thanks so much for coming, and thanks for having me to share this amazing innovation with you. Now, before I begin, I want to ask you to indulge me in this section. I'm going to get a little bit technical, and it's pretty hard to talk about accuracy and AI without getting technical, and some of you guys are going to love that. And some of you are probably not. So the deal is I'm going to try and keep it short and snappy. I'm going to simplify it, and I'll ask you to come along for the ride. Is that okay? Thanks so much. So when we think about accuracy with AI, we all know the more data you give an AI, the better the results are going to be. But lots of organizations think that means you need to train your own large language model. And let's face some realities. Training a large language model is complicated, it's expensive, it's not sustainable, and quite frankly, it's probably out of reach for many organizations. And this is where, with the power of the Salesforce platform, you can flip the switch. Because there are lots of ways to get the data to the AI without training a large language model. And the power is in the prompt. So the question that you ask the AI can embed data and information and get the most accurate results. So I suppose when you hear that, you think maybe that's putting a lot of burden on your end users who have to write these amazing prompts. Not necessarily the case. With the Salesforce platform, we can actually allow you to take advantage of a sophisticated new technology known as retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. Deep within Data Cloud, we utilize a RAG technique to actually augment the prompts and questions that the users put in to ensure that we get the most accurate answer you possibly can. And of course, we excel at doing that with your rich Salesforce data, but you're not just limited to that. Unfortunately, we know that many of our enterprise customers and many of our customers around the world still have thousands of disconnected databases. And we think of those disconnected databases almost like islands of disconnected and trapped data. And we think in that trapped data, there's actually trapped value. And that's why we built Data Cloud. So Data Cloud is a hyperscale data engine directly within Salesforce that allows you to combine not only your structured but also your unstructured enterprise data. It unifies the data and allows you to produce a highly personalized, accurate response for your end user, but taking advantage of the latest in security, governance, and compliance, so you don't have to compromise on your commitments to your customers. It's an incredibly powerful platform. Now, the more data that you put into Data Cloud, the better Agentforce is able to make decisions. And this, like Leandro said, is powered through the Atlas reasoning engine. So what we do with Atlas is we're able to take all that additional data and make a decision on how best to run a prompt. We use that sophisticated agentic loop to really evaluate the best approach to get the best answer to your customer that compromises not just accuracy, but also the cost and efficiency of the model itself. And this is all done through the trust layer. Now, I've had the privilege of seeing examples where customers use the retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, themselves, and also Atlas or Salesforce at the same time. And I personally have been blown away by the actual results. You can't really understand the true depth and precision that you get unless you try it out. So I strongly encourage you to try it out. And in fact, this is a perfect point for me to just show you what this looks like in real life. And so we'll do that by going back to another great demo, once again with our fantastic friends at Fisher & Paykel. Now, I've already said the more data you give the AI, the better the response is going to be. So Fisher & Paykel use Data Cloud to unify their structured and unstructured data and power better decisions for their organization. So with that, let's go over to the demo, and I'm going to be Fisher & Paykel merchandising manager, and I start my day in Slack. Slack is where I get everything done. It's my productivity tool. It's how I connect to my teams. It's how I make sure I get everything done. It superpowers me. And you know what's so exciting? There's a new tab here, an Agentforce tab. Look at that. I've got all these team members, as you scroll down. These are all agents that are ready. They're just like other members of the team, ready helping to help me superpower my day and get my job done more quickly and more easily. And what do I want to use today? Well, I'm going to use this amazing merchandising strategist. She's my new best friend, and I can simply chat to her. I don't have to do anything complicated. It's just like I'm sending a message to another team member. And so I'm going to start off by asking her a really simple question, like I'm interested in what product categories might have the most opportunity for growth? It's the sort of thing that you'd expect a merchandising manager to want to answer, right? And Agentforce has done the processing, and it's come back with a fairly simple answer. You think this is good? Okay. It's pretty boring, isn't it, right? I want to really show you, I want to push this to the limits. I want to show you the full power of Agentforce. So I'm going to ask my merchandising strategist a much more complicated and, quite frankly, more useful question. I want to know, how can I grow in-demand products with bundling, but I also want to ensure that I've got inventory available as well. I don't just want to bundle products, I want to make sure that it's available. So Agentforce has gone under the covers, combined that structured and unstructured data that's beautifully unified by Data Cloud, given me back a rich answer. And the first thing I can check with accuracy is, where has that answer come from? Well, you see the sources up there? If I'm in any doubt of any of these recommendations, I can simply select the source itself and go straight to where this recommendation is coming from. And you can see the answer I've got back. It's also incredibly rich and detailed. It's got some visualization packed in, but most importantly, it's incredibly actionable. I can take this recommendation and I can quickly apply it and drive a change in my business. So I've shown you how Agentforce is being used by an end user in the context of their work every single day. Now I want to show you behind the scenes what's actually happening. And as I said, this is all about getting the right data to the AI. So I'm going to start in Data Cloud. You can see here, these are all the different connectors and streams I have into Data Cloud, and it's everything you'd expect from your Salesforce CRM. But I want to add some more information in, so I'm going to click on New, and the first thing I can see is all the Salesforce clouds I would expect, but I can also see a bunch of other sources. And in this case, as a merchandising manager, the most useful thing for me to see is actually bring in some social data from Meta and some other information from Azure as well. Now, what's interesting is further down, you see how I've got MuleSoft? MuleSoft is this incredible platform that really allows you to connect anything that you could possibly want to connect. And so this is really useful. If you were in different industries, this is where the MuleSoft connector becomes incredibly interesting. So for example, if I was in financial services, I might want to bring in a transaction, the transaction information from my banking system. If I was in healthcare, I might want to bring in my patient information. So let's click next. And now Data Cloud is actually taking the data, it's unifying it, and it's visualizing it for me. So I can see how all these different dimensions connect. As an analyst, this is really useful to help me understand the data picture that I'm pulling together and where all this external data is coming from. So now we've got all our data ready to go. How do we use it in a prompt itself? To show you that, I'm going to go over to Prompt Builder. Now, Prompt Builder is where we build all our prompts. And the first thing I want to pull your attention to is on the right-hand side. You see how I've got access to all these different large language models? So as I write the prompt, I can choose the specific large language model I want to use. Now, why is that important? Well, different large language models are better for different things. And there are lots of different dimensions that you go through to choose the large language model, but I think the two most important ones is you're kind of balancing accuracy and precision versus cost, right? If you can throw as much money at it as you like, you're always going to get it accurate. But some requirements, some use cases have a looser and a more open option for accuracy. So depending on the prompt, you might want to point things to a different specialist or different large language model. Within Salesforce, we've got that ability to quickly switch that on whenever you like. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the prompt in. Now, to save time, once again, I'm just going to cut and paste it. But you can see I'm not having to write code. I'm simply using natural language. And so it's just the way I would talk to anyone. So let's have a read of what I've got. So I want to create a personalized message. I want you to take into account browsing history and engagement. I've got some instructions on how I want the response to come back. I'm going to say, make sure it's engaging and informative. Okay, and now remember, we always want to add context or data. So the first bit of context we want to add is we probably want to give it some Salesforce data. So let's drop down, and we've added the contact information. Now I'm going to try and actually run the prompt. And so by doing that, I'm going to select a user, Nora, and I'm going to preview. So what's very powerful here in Prompt Builder is how I can quickly and easily kind of test and iterate how the prompt's going to go. So you can see here, on the left-hand side, you can see how the prompt itself has been resolved. So that's the actual query that's being sent to the large language model behind the scenes. On the right-hand side, that's the response that's actually going to come back to a customer. And it's a fairly personalized response. It's given a nice product recommendation, but I think it could be a little bit better, a little bit even more personalized. So to do that, I want to pull in some more information. And I think giving more product information is a good idea. And to make it quick and easy, I'm just going to upload a PDF that I now have access to, the product catalog PDF. So I add that in. And this, people, is where we get to the augmented part of retrieval augmented generation. I'm going to add that product information directly into my prompt. So I'm using a thing called a search retriever, which lets me search through the PDF file that I've uploaded. And that product catalog information's in there. And now let's run preview again. And you'll see a much more personalized response. Okay, so the top bit is where I augmented the data. The left-hand side, I retrieved the data, the prompt that I'm doing and what I'm retrieving. And then on the right-hand side, it's the generation. Retrieval augmented generation. You can see it's all very quick and simple to make happen. So I've got this really personalized view, and isn't that great? Now, I showed you earlier how these prompts really superpower employees, particularly in Slack or any user interface that they're in, but these prompts are just as applicable to customers. So let's go over to our customer, Nora. We're going to go to her WhatsApp on her phone and have a look at what that looks like. So she's in the beautiful city of Sydney, lucky us, and she gets a wonderful message from Fisher & Paykel on her WhatsApp with that very personalized recommendation, rich text, and it's powered by Agentforce, but on behalf of Fisher & Paykel, and it's an amazing, rich interaction for her. So isn't it amazing? We've unified structured and unstructured data. We've done this within the controls of governance, security, and compliance. We've augmented the data, made it easy for our users, and we've been able to unlock and supercharge not only our employees, but our customers too. It's been a great privilege to share this innovation with you today. And with that, I'm going to hand back to Frank.
Woo. Thank you. Thank you, Ro. It's great to hear how the data cloud can find and untrap all of this rich data spread across the organization in a data lake or somewhere else, put it to work inside your application portfolio to have meaningful interaction and support and value for your customers. Now to take you through where all the magic happens. This is the front office. This is where employees and agents work together to drive success for our customers. Please welcome up chapter 3 of our story, Kaylin Voss.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you all. So I'm Kaylin Voss. I lead our Agentforce and Data Cloud teams here at Salesforce. And believe it or not, this is my first time to Sydney. I know, I'm already in love with your incredible, incredible city. And I have been asking a lot of you local Aussies this week, I'm like, what do I need to experience? What do I need to try? Give me some of the tips, right? And so there's been a resounding theme. You ready for it? Everybody says you have to try this local delicacy. The Bunnings sausage sizzle or something. And I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta go try that. But then I started asking more local Aussies, and they were also telling me about drop bears. So I don't even know if I'm trusting on this local delicacies anymore. But thank you for having me. I get to take you through, as Frank said, the magic, where we are bringing agents together with humans, applying Agentforce on top of our C360 applications that you see here to bring customer success and innovation on our deeply unified platform. So let's jump in. It starts with Sales Cloud. This is our bread and butter. For the last 25 years, we have been helping sellers connect with their customers. And now with Agentforce, along with Sales Cloud, we are taking that work out of work. Thing about sellers, it's so complicated to try to prepare all of the executive briefings, draft the quotes. You make one tiny change in a quote, and it triggers all of the approvals, which we all know how painful it is. Now with Agentforce, we're helping automate those tasks. So if you look at, for example, Spotify, they're using Agentforce to automate their ad inventory that they have open, right? With the most appropriate sponsors giving their sellers back 40% of their time. That is agents, that is employees, and sellers working together for success. Or let's look at Service Cloud. How are we bringing Agentforce along with Service Cloud to drive success? Just look at our own Customer Zero story at Salesforce. We added Agentforce to our help site. We have 60 million hits to that website every single year for customer support. 30,000 a month are looking for customer support. Now 85% of those are being handled by an agent. It is incredible to see Agentforce coupled with Service Cloud driving customer success. Or Marketing Cloud. I love this story. Pacific Smiles Dental used Agentforce to automate their campaigns and their personalized outreach, and their appointments are up 30%. Agentforce is helping prevent one cavity at a time here in Australia. How incredible is that? Happy smiles everywhere. Thanks. Or Commerce Cloud. Now you introduce Agentforce into Commerce Cloud, and even just a mere interest can drive to some form of purchase thanks to our personalized shopping agents here with Agentforce and Commerce Cloud. Or you think around Revenue Cloud and orders. If you look at how Audata is bringing Agentforce into Revenue Cloud, they are helping streamline all of their contracts can be really complicated for how do you get it into the right currency, right? And into the right language. Guess who can help with that? Agentforce. This is agents and humans driving success in Revenue Cloud. Or you look at Tableau. Adding an Agentforce along with Tableau makes every single one of your employees a data scientist. If we look at how Box is using Agentforce in Tableau, they now have 97% faster insights across their entire company. Or Slack, this is incredibly close to my heart. I use this every single day. With Agentforce in Slack, you saw the agent library from Row. It is making it as easy to talk to an agent as it is a teammate, driving incredible, revolutionary results. And last, MuleSoft. You heard from Frank, when you bring Agentforce into MuleSoft, you are allowing automation, not just across your CRM data, but all of your company's data, all of their systems here with Agentforce and MuleSoft. So I've talked to you around humans and how our C360 applications are partnering together to drive customer success. But you heard from Matthew McConaughey, what if? How are we helping chart the uncharted for industries in every industry around the world? So pull out your phone, scan this barcode, and see all of these industry-specific actions for the what-ifs that we are delivering on, again, for every single industry. But now, I have shared with you how we are bringing humans and agents together. Why don't we see this in action in a demo here? I'm gonna come up here. So we're going back to Nora. This is her phone. She is a business owner. Okay, she is trying to remodel a new corporate kitchen for her companies. You heard Rose show this personalized product bundle here in WhatsApp. This is inspiring to her because it's personalized. This is Agentforce sending her this here on her phone. She says, this looks great, this is what I'm looking for, but I am interested to make sure that it fits within my budget. That's a guardrail for Agentforce, everybody. When it comes to pricing, they're the guardrail that was set by Fisher and Paykel. Thank you here. So they say, we need a human, because this is humans and agents working together. We need to involve a human here because of this guardrail. But instead of just waiting days to drive that connection, it looks at the availability for the sales rep at Fisher and Paykel, matches that with Nora's availability so that they can have a phone call today. Do not miss this lead. They confirm a time. You can see here, they lock in 4 o'clock. Well, Agentforce locks in 4 o'clock for Nora to have a discussion with the sales rep to get her corporate kitchen ready. They schedule that call. Okay, we're locked in. Now, let's see what this experience looked like for the sales rep. Now, traditionally, this can be laborious to get caught up to speed. The sales rep for Fisher and Paykel can see the history of the conversation that was happening on WhatsApp. She can click into Agentforce here. So now you're inside of Sales Cloud. She can click into Agentforce and see, I need to create a quote, right? Agentforce helps create that quote. And then she can apply the 5% discount to make sure that it is in Nora's budget. Can you please apply this 5% discount? Agentforce automates and does this. As somebody who has been leading sales teams for nearly 20 years, everybody, this is revolutionary. This can take teams truly weeks done like that. An agent helping the seller right here. She knows that she needs to send this discount on the quote back to Nora. So she asks Agentforce to create it into a PDF, draft the email, and here it's going to draft it here, draft the email, pull in the PDF so I can send this back to Nora and quickly get her set up with her kitchen. Boom, there it is. So Nora now gets this email from Agentforce and humans working together for success. So we've shown you what Agentforce looks like in Sales Cloud because we talked about this in our C360 applications. Now, let's show you what this looks like for a field service technician for Agentforce inside of field service. So here you can see for the field technician, Agentforce will send them an alert in advance saying, hey, you have an appointment at this time today. The field technician can click into here, taking them into field service. They can see a summary of what to bring, what is the situation, a pre-work brief that they can listen to while they're on the way. We all know as consumers, there is nothing more frustrating than when you hold a time and somebody misses the window 1, 2 doesn't come prepared with the things that they need to get it done. You have to reschedule. That is gone when you start introducing Agentforce into field service. Now this technician is prepared, shows up on time, and ready to drive customer success. So let's check in with that field service technician. Callie, are you there?
Hey, Kaylin, I'm here on site, and I've just finished the repair. Thanks to Agentforce, I arrived with all the tools I needed at the right time, and the damaged panel has been replaced. Now all I need to do is summarize the work order, and to do that, I can ask Field Service. Hey Siri, ask Field Service to summarize work order 845.
That is incredible, everybody. Let me just summarize what you saw there. 1, the technician, Callie, was prepared and got a really successful install done on time. But 2, Siri was able to invoke inside of Agentforce in field service to summarize that there. But then Agentforce also reminded her for quality assurance to upload a video so that they could make sure it was a successful repair, but also this is Agentforce looking into rich media to see an opportunity for upsell. Hey, you really should be looking at a better backsplash in that kitchen, turning Turning what can be a simple fix into another revenue-generating opportunity for Fisher & Paykel. A happy customer, a happy technician, a happy sales rep, all because we have Agentforce working with humans and agents to drive customer success together, all right? So thank you, Sydney, for having me, and back to you, Frank.
Woo. Good job. We've shared a lot with you today. This is the Trinity, the data cloud, which feeds our Customer 360 portfolio of applications embedded with Agentforce. Together, this is the deeply unified platform that is delivering your digital labor platform. Now, the challenge is every company, every person wants the output, the success part of the AI. The challenge is how you get there really matters. And there's two distinct choices, DIY or ROI. So what do we mean by that? We talk about don't DIY your AI. Why do we say that? It's challenging. It's a tremendous amount of time, effort, cost, and risk. You have to build all the metadata, the entire trust platform from the ground up. The number of executives that I've met with this year that said, we tried it with a different platform. We spent 2 years and in some cases millions of dollars, and there's not a lot to show for it. So our question is, what if we could replace DIY with ROI? What if we could start at the finish line, leveraging the deeply unified platform, leveraging the investments that are already in place today? That is delivering on the promise of AI. That is going from the art of the possible to the art of the practical. Find a use case, find an untrapped value, assign an agent to it, rinse, repeat. So how do I get involved? How do I get started? We have a product container. We have a SKU called Salesforce Foundations. It's got everything you need inside and out of the box. If you've got your phone and you want to learn more, please feel free to grab the QR code. Now, we've got a very busy day in store for you. This is kind of like the hit list. Don't miss these sessions. And such a big thank you to all of our speakers from product and marketing and from our customers that are making these sessions possible. And there's 3 things on the left I would love for you to consider doing. 1, build an agent, not just for the technical community. Go build an agent, get your hands on this technology and see the power of Agentforce. Number 2, explore the campground. Find an engineer from Salesforce, find a partner, get involved in this community. It's also a ton of fun. It's a vibrant community down there. There's a massive buzz going on. And number 3, after today, when you go, there's something I want to learn more about, learn with Trailhead. And if you still have your phones out, we're going to bring it home. I just need one more thing. Will you please give us your feedback? Take a survey. Your feedback matters. We want to get better. And with that, I want to say thank you to all of you. We have a massive day in store. Thank you to all of you. Have an amazing day. Let's go.
Hey Trailblazers, thanks for joining us. We'd love your feedback on today's keynote. Use this QR code to complete a short survey.